I've already seen it over 20 times, so it's not really fair to do a reaction video. I do want to try reaction videos to see if that takes off on my channel. I've tried ski videos, I've tried gaming videos. Reaction videos are just so easy. I know they're kind of cheap, which is why I've avoided doing them. But but that one time I did it, the Naruto versus Ichigo reaction video was actually really fun for me. I'd like to try reaction videos again. Now, again, I can't do a reaction video for episode 1 because the reaction would not be genuine. Even that Naruto versus Ichigo video, even though it was actually my second time watching it, so even then it wasn't a genuine reaction. But it was only my second time, so it was still new and fresh in my head. Whereas this, I've seen it several times now. I don't feel like I could react to FNAF because I know so much. Again, a lot of stuff that the YouTuber Matt Pat, got me into, I just watch him for it. You know, Backrooms, Murder Drones, which is made by the same people who made this, which shocks me because Murder Drones, it didn't seem like something I would be interested in. When I watched his theory about the AMAZING Digital Circus, I actually went and I watched the episode. Especially, this is a lot easier because Murder Drones, it would have been a whole series I would have had to pick up, whereas AMAZING Digital Circus, it's just one episode. Now, I will say there are other original YouTube creators. I mentioned Hashman Hotel, that's going to Amazon now. I probably will watch Hashman Hotel on Amazon. Hell of a Boss, that I'm still following, that I watch on YouTube whenever there's a new episode, and I actually like it, and that would be another one I would be reacting to. And then I would, of course, take reaction suggestions if I proceed with that. But I am definitely going to proceed with the next Hell of a Boss episodes probably, and definitely episode 2 of the Amazing Digital Circus. Because I love this. And I just want to talk about episode 1 real quick, because I've definitely got some of my own theories. Some of them I agree with Matt Penn on, but this one where I'd like to make some of my own theories. Unlike FNAF, where I enjoy watching other people make theories, I want to make some of my own. And right now we only have one episode. I've got a hot take. You know me, I love my redeemable villains, such as Kurama from Naruto, as I mentioned. Um, do I think that Kane is redeemable? I don't know. There's actually, I would like him to be, but literally just coming to my mind right now, uh, there's a moment in here where they briefly show Cain and Abel. We have Cain. Something that Matt Pat didn't bring up, I don't believe. He brought up Cain and Abel. I don't believe he said this, but he might have, because it's been a while since I watched his theory. Is there an Abel character? He's going to start growling because I have one of the reactors I'm watching. I'm going to turn it off for a second. Sorry. He hates stuff when it's frozen on the screen. Anyway, so could there be an Abel character that we haven't met yet? Because it's only been one episode. Uh, I do like the character of Pomni, a sort of realist, and I like the fact that everyone does seem to be sort of like an sort of online thing where people are put on a headset and they can't take it off. In the case of Sword Art Online, they couldn't log out, and if the parents took the headset off, they would die. So that does beg the question, we're like, obviously she can't take the headset off. Is there someone in the outside world that could take it off? And what would happen if they did? It's not explained. Or could it just be that they could just not explain that at all? It could be that that never happens. But certainly Pomni who is our main character, goes in here and she's new. And I do appreciate how everyone in there, they do call her crazy for seeing an exit, but it seems to me like she's actually the first one to see it. They don't call her crazy for thinking that she's a human because, as it turns out, they all did the same thing. They all put a headset on. They all got transported into the world of the Amazing Digital Circus. They all even mention that they tried to initially get out and couldn't. So they were all humans. They were all transferred here. Or one of Matt Pat's theories that I hope is not true, but I can see being a good point is they might be um, copies of the character. But in that case, if they're copies of a real life person, because they also don't have their memories, or don't they? See, that's something that's not really clear. That they don't remember their names, but they remember putting the headset on and going in there. So how much of their memory do they have? I feel like there's an opportunity that they could, in the future, remember certain things. That's something for a future episode. Because this really was just said. I would love for Cain not to be evil. I forget in Cain and Abel. It's a biblical story of two brothers, if I recall correctly. One of them's bad, one of them's good. Um, didn't one like kill the other? Hmm. I'll have to look that up after doing this. But I do believe Cain was the bad one. In which case, Abel is a good one. And if I had that backwards, Cain is the good one. Is there a bad one? There's definitely something else because, as Matt Pat has pointed out, and I agree, right, this digital world, there is a moment in this first episode where a computer is shown and Pomni seems to recognize it. She goes crazy. If I had seen this episode before watching Matt Pat's video, I would have just like, what's that all about? But I would have also come to the same conclusion myself because at the end of the video, unlike FNAF, which makes things really, what's the word? Not confusing, not vain, abstract. Unlike FNAF, which makes things really abstract, they spell it out for you, and it's not 100% confirmed, but they put it right in your face that at the end of the episode, they pull out and they show that same computer, but it looks real. And there's a VR headset. And I honestly didn't notice until today that there is a VR headset on there. And when I watch it this time, for this reaction, I'm actually going to be looking. Is there a VR headset pictured in the digital world? Is that headset there? Because it's there in the real world now. I've seen it, and now I'm going to be looking for that in this next watch through. So yeah, I'm theorizing. I'm forming my own opinions about this, and I am going to try to make my own theories when episode 2 comes out. It's crazy. The Gloink Queen is crazy. It's weird, and it's funny. It's not super scary. There's clearly some creepy moments in here, but while I'm not into like jump scares and everything, which is surprising since I'm actually a FNAF fan. I've never played any of the games though. Still. But case of Amazing Digital Circus, I watched that first episode and I was hooked. Similar to Hell of a Boss. Where like this is the second YouTube created series where I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch that on release day. At release time. Unless I'm working, in which case it'll have to be delayed. But I do plan on doing a live reaction to episode 2 when it comes out. Because go watch the pilot and you'll see why so many people are reacting to it right now. It's so popular. I feel like I'm a little late. A lot of these reaction videos I'm watching are from a month ago now, so I am a little late to the party. But I know that's going to be popular when episode 2 comes out, and everyone's going to be reacting to that. And I want to try to get on the bandwagon in this case because it's actually reacting to something that I actually really loved. I really loved that first episode. Don't get me wrong, I love all the other stuff, but I feel like this is something that I can actually get into myself. And it's actually making me think. Not just watching other people think, although I did watch that video. Like, I've got my own thoughts. Like, what if Kane is actually telling the truth? And, like, he obviously knows something more. But what if he really is not the one in control? What if there really is someone above him? What if there is a god? You could even say that the Gloink Queen mentions God will be Gloinks as one of her lines. And I know how ridiculous that sounds. But does that mean there's a god, a digital god? That's the second one in this video I've just come up with. See, I'm coming up with my own theories. Could there be a digital god that Cain has to serve? Because again, biblical. Ooh, boy. I'm gonna have to remember all this. Trapped in a world with biblical reference, Cain and Abel. The Gloink Queen mentions God will be Gloinks. Could Gloinks actually mean something? It sounds ridiculous, but there's only been one episode. Could all these times, if I've learned one lesson, it's all these times something ridiculous could actually turn out to be a point important. If there is a God and the Gloink Queen says God will be Gloinks. And of course that doesn't end up happening because by the end of the first episode they defeat the Gloink Queen. Also has Kaufmo in it. We never get to see him because he is the one that gets abstracted in this episode. So are we going to see more abstractions? Pomni is a main character. I've heard some people saying that she's going to be next to abstract. And wouldn't that be something if I thought this was going to have... It seems like she can't be abstracted because it does seem like they're setting up to tell a story here. Right, and she's, as a main character, as in episode 1, she is the first one to find the exit. Now, after she does find the exit, Cain does admit there is an exit. That's the other thing, he doesn't deny it. He admits there is an exit. And he actually, everyone else is around to hear it. Jax and the other characters are there. Kinger, Zubul. Yeah, I can actually remember their names. And then Ragatha. Well, I remembered all 4 characters' names. That's maybe because I've seen it so many times. But all 4 of those characters are there to see it. Are there to hear him admit that yes, there is an exit. But we find out in episode 1 it goes into the void. And that's literally how it's said. So they all find out. So they all know that she wasn't crazy, that there is an exit, but that it goes into the void. Go as the pilot, because I'm going to be reacting to episode 2. Doing a live reaction, first reaction. And unlike the Kurama, I love Kurama. Unlike the Ichigo versus Naruto video, which was my second reaction, honestly. The second time reacting. This will be I will not watch it, and I will react it. I will watch the episode for the very first time while reacting. And then I'll go back and watch it a second time without the reacting to enjoy it. So, I guess look forward to that. I'm going to try reaction content and see if that goes anywhere.